The first war we had, I want you to know, I had 2 kills. Jack, you were one of them. I want you to know that.
Yeah.
Like, that went nuts. Like, that was Jack. Let's go. Oh, man.
Well. Has it been a while since we did a virtual episode and brought DrLupo on? I mean, we're doing 2 things that we've done before, but haven't done in a very long time. And nostalgia is a good thing. DrLupo. Oh my God, Lupo.
Lupo?
I don't know, dude.
Yo, is Matt fired now? Is that what happens next?
You know what? I hope somebody fires me. I'll go down in a blaze of glory. I'll take this whole fucking company with me. Welcome back to the CouRage and Nadeshot Show. If you guys didn't pick up on the guest there, it was DrLupo that I so horribly mispronounced. We have CouRage back, who is no longer at a Yankees game. Jack, I'm very sorry, but on the last episode, you missed Noel Miller, who is great friends with Cody Co. Yep. And I know you love both of those guys. Yeah. We missed you, but now Will Neff is gone, so we can go back to being ourselves.
Good. Thank God Will Neff is gone.
I hate him so much. So really, being so attractive and entertaining.
It's messed up when he knows how attractive he is with long hair and then says, all right, you know what? Let me now stun on these guys with short hair. And then he cuts his hair short and looks better than me with short hair. So
that dude, honestly, all right, I gotta rant for a second.
Do it.
He is well spoken.
Yeah.
He has excellent comedic timing. He has the body of a Greek god.
Yeah.
He can rock long or short hair, like you said.
Yep.
Honestly, Will, if you watch this back at any point, just slide in the DMs. If you want to hang out, maybe we'll go on a date or something. Just let me know. All right.
All right. Clip that. Send that to Sam, Ben's wife. But yeah, no, it's great to have you back, Ben. We do this thing on the show where we bring back the most popular episodes we've had. So your episode was extremely popular. People loved it. We had Marcel, who's come back now a couple times. Who's people have loved him. They've loved having Symphony on the show. So you're a great close friend of the show, great close friend of mine. This is the second time you've been on the podcast, as we mentioned. First time was April 9th, 2020, which was our second remote podcast ever, right at the start of the pandemic. So it's been a year and a half already, and we're still in this position. But as you guys know, this podcast is brought to you by Cash App.
Yeah, I'm going to plug in my Christmas lights. Go.
Okay, if you guys haven't used Cash App yet, then I hate you. It's pretty simple. Cash App, you can download it on the Google Play Store or App Store today. The beauty of Cash App is this. Wow, I see all these people making money in the stock market. I want to own a piece of any stock. Well, guess what? Cash App lets you invest with just $1. You don't need to buy the full expensive stock, and you can begin to root for that company yourself. You could also invest in other things like Bitcoin. It's absolutely the best place to spend and save your money. You can also download it and use promo code Thieves, THIEVES, to support the Gamers Outreach Foundation, a great charitable cause that helps kids dealing with long-term treatment in hospitals to play video games. Bang. It's an absolute best, great thing to support. You get $10 free when using promo code Thieves. The Gamers Outreach Foundation gets $10 free for using promo code Thieves. The investing is free to use and free of fees. I love Cash App more than I love my own family. Sorry, Mom, Dad, and Kelly, and Marty. And now Kaya and Maddie too. If you guys were hanging off a cliff and Cash App was hanging off a cliff, I'd be waving goodbye to you guys while getting great savings. Investing in stocks.
Your family doesn't allow you to invest in stocks with just $1. So I mean, how useful are they actually?
Sorry, guys.
Lupo.
Yeah.
Wow, boys, you went all in on that. I commend you.
Hey, they love it. They love it.
Well, I'm not letting you guys talk. This is my moment.
Sorry.
DrLupo, a lot has changed for you since the beginning of that first episode, right as the pandemic started. You are now a full-time streamer on YouTube. You betrayed the Twitch platform.
I know.
The community that made you who you are today.
I know.
Stab them in the back, man.
Of greener pastures and more money in your Cash App account.
Yeah.
I
mean, Matt, they backed up the truck of money. Fuck them, right? Honestly, just I've been swimming in my Scrooge McDuck pool of money. It's nice, that's what the internet at least says was the sole reason. So might as well stick to it, dude.
Hell yeah! No, I'm
when
all in on
someone
that.
backs up the truck of money, who's gonna say no?
On top of that, see, I've done it. I did it a long time ago for a much, much smaller truck. It was more, it wasn't
an
even
El Camino of money that they gave you.
now, dude. It was like
go kart, maybe.
money. Yeah. Jinx, you owe me a rock star, truly. All right. So Dr. Lupo, obviously, you can make those jokes, but for me, from my standpoint, you got a family, you've been grinding on Twitch for a very long time. It's not like you went over to MLG TV. You went over to YouTube, which is one of the biggest platforms in the entire world. And very accessible as well for a lot of different audiences with a lot of features that actually Twitch doesn't have. So I think I would love to know more about what the decision-making process was like for you. I'm sure you've talked about it on your stream, but this is a really big news. One of the biggest streamers to leave Twitch, obviously years later after all this Mixer drama that happened with Ninja and Shroud. So what was going through your head? Like, how did the conversation start and how tough of a decision was it for you?
God. This is an incredibly difficult decision because you do have to take into account the 6 years that I spent building a strong community on Twitch. And I know that some people like to say, well, you abandon your community. I fully believe that the community forms around the content creator. It should always be about the content creator, not necessarily the platform. And so when an opportunity comes that I think is wholly good across the board for me, my career, my family, it was a no-brainer, right? It was difficult. I mean, I can't say I didn't have plenty of sleepless nights. The month between when I made the choice and when the announcement actually went out was difficult. And I definitely talked to Jack a number of times about it, as well as a couple other people. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing for me is one, if the need arise, I can take time off a stream because the number of hours that are required of me isn't as rigorous as what Twitch was putting out there. Obviously, this week is a perfect example of the fact that I'm not just like slacking. We've been doing 12-hour streams of New World like you wouldn't believe. So the effort, the time, the commitment is still there. It just means I have flexibility where I didn't have it before. And for me, that's huge. On top of that, and Jack said this to me, and this might have been one of the biggest solidifying thoughts for me was on Twitch. It's like being a big fish in a lake, right? When you're on YouTube, you're a small fish in the ocean. The size, the magnitude of the platform as a whole is I think people underestimate just how many people watch YouTube as a whole and how impactful that can be. And so being given the chance to be in front of millions of new viewers, as well as bringing that core community along with me, because like I said, the community and the streamer, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just a URL change at the end of the day. Plus, we got a ton of additional features, plus new features coming in left to right. People are building, better TTV works on YouTube now. So all the people that are like, I need my KEKW, boy, we got that. Yep. I stream in 1440p at 25 megasecond on YouTube. It's so crystal sick. Effing clear.
I thought sick. It's like, it's not to cut you off because you're fucking crushing this. Like, Fwiz at YouTube would be so proud of you right now. Dude, I'm all in on YouTube from the few statements that you made. But that, to me, the streaming and encoding like capabilities is unbelievable. It is wild to me in 2021 that I'm capped out at 6,000 bit rate on Twitch, and it looks like a toaster when I'm watching it on a monitor. I'm like, I got a dual PC setup and fiber internet. Just because a lot of people in the world, they say the reason why they don't allow it is because most people in the US, like 90% of people can't even watch 1080p stream. That is bullshit. I don't know where you got that stat from, but I don't believe it. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go back to what you were saying. I'm all in on Super HD, crisp, 1440p. Fuck it, give me 4K.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that. So I'm gonna buy a 4K monitor, and then I will be able to stream in 4K at 40 megasecond, and it's gonna be like you're playing the fucking game on your PC while you watch me. I've had people like, I go and watch Tarkov streams on Twitch, and it looks like I'm staring at a compressed JPEG. It's got artifacting. It looks like mud, dude. It's almost painful to watch, and then I watch back my own VODs, and it's wildly different. It's incredible,
dude. The quality is absolutely insane, and like everything you mentioned there, Ben, I think you hit the nail on the head. I know how smart you are of a person and how much goes into these thoughts, and you never took anything for granted from your great times on Twitch. But knowing everything that I know from this industry and knowing the details of how things work on Twitch and how they work on YouTube and doing these exact transitions that you've done, You and Tim, for the matter, absolutely made the right decision for not only your family but also from a business standpoint. This
It
was
feels like
it,
it was the right
it's
decision.
oh yeah, and it was, in my opinion, when you weigh all the options and see everything, when it comes down to it, knowing the nature of the market right now, it was a no-brainer. The transition, I remember my transition to YouTube was was a struggle off the start, but just like any big move like that, it's a learning curve and you begin to learn it. And, you know, um, it's just great to see, your audience continue to support you on YouTube. And now you've got this opportunity to reach heights that have never been imaginable. When there's a game that is hot, like for example, when Among Us was around, the viewership on YouTube when it was hot was in friggin' insane.
Yeah. Watching
So
Ray's streams like 40, 50,000 viewers,
wild.
dude,
Wild.
phenomenal. And
Yeah.
she deserves the success too, by the way. Not to,
Yeah.
I know she's not here, but I'm going to gas her up anyway. She has been friggin' groundbreaking when it comes to streaming in general, especially for women and on YouTube. It's been phenomenal to see. So hats off to her for sure for friggin' crushing it.
Oh, she's
You
been
know what?
on fire.
She's been fantastic, but I can't help but think selfishly about me right now because you guys are both talking about how incredible YouTube is. And I'm like, wait. I haven't even signed my affiliate contract with Twitch. I could go stream on YouTube right now. Funny, I used to stream on YouTube all the time, even when I was a Twitch partner, back when like Typical Gamer was setting the new meta for YouTube streaming on like GTA, him and Noah back then. I was streaming like H1Z1 back like 2015 and Rainbow Six on YouTube just to see how, because back then it was like, oh, the more watch time you have, the higher up the algorithm you'd be. So everybody live streaming was getting their channels just going to the fucking moon.
Yeah.
And I stopped after a while because we started 100 Thieves. But now that I'm on, not on a contract anymore, I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm over here jealous that you're streaming at this bit rate. I'm just going to go do it tonight. Fuck it.
I'll see you over there, right?
Hey, can I get a host?
I wish.
Hold on. Yeah. Now that it's been a bit, and this whole transition has happened, and now looking back, we've seen these streaming platforms, all vying for growth. It's such a huge industry. It's going to continue to explode. And that's why these huge companies are battling here. We discussed this a bit a while ago on the podcast with everything with Mixer, but now that it's been a few years, was there ever a time where Mixer was a consideration for you? Did you ever consider going to the platform? Was there an opportunity there for you?
I mean, I think a lot of the large content creators, especially around the Fortnite or just after boom, a lot of us got offers to go to Mixer. Obviously, all jokes aside, man, wouldn't it have been nice to be able to know in advance, Jack, that they were going to implode in 7 months, so I could have like, yeah, I'll sign that. Let's go. They had a very, very hefty offer on the table, and I said no at the time, because I think I don't know, maybe it was fear. I don't know how Tyler said yes. I have no idea.
I think
I could think of a few reasons.
Yeah, like a few
few millions of reasons.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying.
Tens of millions of reasons.
Yeah. When you go to Mixer and that opportunity comes up, it is going to a platform that is not established, fundamentally not established. When Tyler joined, the second biggest streamer behind him was a Monster Cat music channel at like 3,000 concurrent viewers. Like that was the whole platform. And then there was people under that. So I think you, again, in that situation, made the complete right decision to stay right where you were.
You can't look back on that at all.
No, absolutely not. Anyone, that was a great decision. So, I just love hearing your insight because I know that these opportunities have come up, and for streamers that have these opportunities come up, it is, I know leading up to that, it was very, very stressful. I remember how stressed and anxious I was for my move to YouTube. Like you've talked about it, securing your family, having more time for family. That was my big thing as well. It was an opportunity to make sure that one day I can retire my dad or, now have my mom work full time for me
Oh,
to be able to
dude,
pay her a healthy salary. That's
I
what went
think
into
that
these decisions.
yeah, I think people don't and I have no expectation for people to understand the situation. I mean, I don't even really fully understand like the level that we're at now.
Mm,
It's kind of jarring to me. But like these opportunities, like the move to YouTube and everything that happened to Twitch and my entire career that people helped build up around me and the shenanigans, the bullshit I do on stream has given me the chance to pay off a lot of debt for my family, pay off my house. I paid off my mother-in-law's mortgage, like all sorts of stuff. I bought my brother a house. Like
wow.
these things are only possible because of how damn lucky I am. And I recognize that and I'm thankful every single day because I know full well that one, if I ever make a mistake, right, it could all disappear. Thankfully, we won't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And two, that I owe it largely to the people that have decided that my old ass is worth watching run around with the great axe in friggin' New World or sit in a bathroom with a shotgun in Tarkov and wait for somebody to show up so I can blow their legs off. Like those
True.
kind of things. Like it's funny to think like that those moments and before Destiny, PUBG, Fortnite, meeting Tyler, meeting you, and you know commentating the World Cup, those things, all those things would not have happened the way that they did if it weren't for people being willing to like take a chance on whatever the hell it is I'm trying to do, and it all just seems so crazy to me that I keep my fingers crossed that we're not done yet, and thankfully, obviously, this YouTube move means I'm not done yet.
No.
Um,
What's the first
Parts of
inning,
it.
brother? No, this is amazing. I mean, you're at the beginning of the first inning in a lot of ways. And the tail end of that, I actually want to dig in a little deeper just because out of my own curiosity, I don't mean to sound like a YouTube chat right now or a Twitch chat with this question because I'm sure
Go
you've
on.
done it before. But Tarkov had a moment on Twitch where everybody was playing it. Jack was fully addicted on
Yep.
YouTube. It seemed like what happened with Apex Legends like 2-3 weeks ago happened with Tarkov. Everybody jumped over and was going hard, grinding, spending
Yep.
many hours playing. How the fuck are you still playing that game? Like, does it have that amount of depth? Like, how come nobody plays it anymore besides DrLupo? And I
Uh,
don't mean that like in a critical way. I'm genuinely curious. You have built such a crazy, rabid community around this game, and you have tens of thousands of people that that watch videos, tune in the streams. How are you still playing this game? What makes it
so
you play it?
so it has I think it's the same idea as like a battle royale, right? So a BR game, you drop in, there's 100 people, Warzone's 150, whatever, and you grab the ground loot, and it starts to build up this like almost like stress, like there's commitment, like there's pressure from you got your loadout, you get in a really good position, and you're doing everything that you need to do, and then the pressure builds up more and more towards the end, and if you get the win, it feels really fucking good, right? Tarkov's the same way in that you commit a certain amount of your time, your resources in the game. There's adrenaline behind it, and there's the shooting mechanics are so complex, and the way that you can move and how technical the game is that I think that Tarkov, we want the people that play Escape from Tarkov know what the game can be. The problem is that it oftentimes is dog shit uh, because there's latency issues and people that there's a lot of cheater problems in Tarkov. If you play Warzone, you know how that feels. But I
Yep.
think it's because of the adrenaline rush that I get from playing the game because of the high pressure situations and how often they happen and compared to a ton of other games. Like arena shooters, I love Halo. I grew up on Halo. I feel like, at least from me, this is my opinion. If you watch this back later, y'all don't roast me for this, please, or do. I want you to know I'm not going to care. I'm going to say it anyway. I feel like the arena shooter is a dying breed. It's difficult to get people captivated in the same way because there just isn't as much pressure a majority of the time. I mean, sometimes you get some matches in Halo. I did the Halo Infinite, the pre-alpha, whatever. The first flight, not the no, second flight, where they introduced arena. We had a
Yep.
couple games come down to like 48-50, and those were fucking amazing. Those were great, but a majority of the games are like 50-30, stomp fest, 50-30, stomp. It just doesn't feel the
Agree
same
with that.
And you
as like
also like can't interact as well with stream.
Yeah.
I actually I played a lot of Escape from Tarkov. It made me more on edge than any game I've ever played before. I stopped
Right?
playing it strictly because I hate jump scares, and that
It does
game is
have
like
that.
Dude, that
cranking
can't be
your
a nightmare for you.
oh, bro. It's like, but Matt, you know how much I hate it. That I played a couple hundred hours of that game to push through it because of how much I loved it. I mean, I've said this to Matt since the beginning. When I played Tarkov and was addicted with some of our friends in our friend group, that is a game that I think Matt would absolutely love, especially knowing how much I know Matt loves Vegas when we go too, because
Oh yeah.
the game is like gambling. You
Oh, I
kinda
need
is.
that in my life.
I know you take a risk with the gear you have,
Yep.
and if you make it out, it's that adrenaline of I risked 1,000,000 rubles worth of gold in the or of items in the game that I went in with this crazy kit. I killed 3 other
Yeah, you
players,
take out 3
you know,
chads. They're like juiced out of their
juiced
minds,
up,
slicks,
and then you're leaving.
alls. Yeah.
And then you're leaving with 2.5, 3 million rubles worth of stuff that you're selling and yada yada. You're like, holy shit. Or on the other side, you go in as a scav, which is like basically a free run that you can do once every 20 minutes or whatever it is, and you kill some crazy geared person. And now you just went from having nothing to 4 million rubles worth of stuff, and you escape with it. And you're like, holy shit. I just hit the jackpot. It's the same thing as hitting, all the like the hard ways back to back in. Like
Oh
it's
my
literally the same way I
It's
felt
wild.
was when I'd
You
hit
find the vein.
was when I hit a vein was when I hit, exactly when I hit a crazy bet in Vegas. I'm not kidding. It gave me that same feeling from when I'd pop off in Tarkov.
That is super dangerous, I think.
I'm telling
I
you.
don't know if I want to hear this. I think I'm a little late to the Tarkov, like, the hype. So I don't know if I'd enjoy it as much, but I actually want to talk a little bit about what you said, Dr. Lupo, about arena-styled games, just because I think it's something that a lot of people have been thinking, but nobody's really said. And so I'm glad to see somebody as prominent as you really vocally put your flag in the ground, just because I think games like Call of Duty will always be successful. I don't think they're ever like truly going to go away. And I think competitive Call of Duty is very different. And I want to be clear, because I am invested in Activision's success with the Call of Duty League. But when you're playing casually in Halo or Call of Duty or Gears of War back in the day, the games that really defined a generation of gamers, it just doesn't hit the same way anymore. Like Jack, your entire point that you're making about everything on the line and getting a rise out of yourself that you can't normally get from a traditional arcade shooter, it's absolutely true. And it's the reason why I think like a game like Valorant is actually doing really well, a new tac shooter, just because your life, there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah.
And you have a rank system that gives you the ability to be invested in what you're doing.
Every single moment in Valorant or Counter-Strike is intense. That's why those games do well, right? When you think of, 5v5, every single moment in that game matters. Winning the pistol round and clutching a 1v2 means you basically get the free next round and potentially more after, right? Like you just take a huge lead because of that. The tough thing is that multiplayer games, as we mentioned, right now it's like that was what we knew, and now they've taken those types of games and inspiration from them and just figured out ways to make them more intense and make your individual plays matter that much more, that now people have just begun to tune into those more. And that's what it feels like in a battle royale, the story that gets told 1 versus 150, or Valorant and Counter-Strike and these types of games compared to Hardpoint or Team Slayer and Halo. It's
about the amount of pressure that the player can feel, that excitement. I think devs have realized that's a big way to capitalize on getting people to come back and play more and more, because I mean, that's why I keep going back to Tarkov. I'm going to be 1,000% honest. You're right about the feeling of gambling, that endorphin rush.
Yeah.
Man, I can have 10-hour streams, Matt, where I'm getting absolutely fucked. But then at the end of the day, that one raid where you just pop off, you get out with a ton of shit and like 15 kills. You're like, I have to play more. I'll see you tomorrow.
Breaks up on a Friday night, right, Dr. Lupo?
Oh, absolutely. It's wild. It is wild how in your fucking veins that game gets its claws. And I think that feeling can span across that can happen in any game that can capitalize on that same adrenaline rush, endorphin rush feeling that you get from high pressure moments. That is literally why the battle royale genre even exists, is because people are capitalizing on pressure, and it's smart. I don't blame them. It actually, oh man, I know people are gonna hate me for this, dude. I'm gonna. Why did Halo not do? Why is Halo Infinite not doing a BR, bro?
I think it'll end up having one.
Why, Matt? Why,
Nobody's
Matt,
gonna.
why?
Yeah, we have thrown 343 into the like fires of Mordor about not having a battle royale. We've talked
I've been very
about 6 different episodes. So go ahead, say everything. I want you to say it again.
They are sitting on a system literally that is in the lore already, dude. ODST. Fucking put those guys in their drop pods, shoot them down onto the ring, let them go fucking nuts. It's literally there already, dude. Just do it.
See, I didn't even know that shit. That makes me even angrier.
If you remember the beginning of Halo 1, Master Chief in the pod lands on the Halo.
I played Halo 2 and Halo 3. Halo 2
I couldn't agree more, man. We talked about it a million times.
It's in the game's veins, dude. I get that they don't want to lean in.
Shields, overshield, fucking power-ups. Bro,
no, you're hurting me, man.
Imagine finding a fucking rocket launcher on the ground. What are we talking about, bro?
And that's what I really struggle with right now is like Halo Infinite, like the multiplayer flight this past weekend. I didn't really get to play it. You know, I really enjoyed the multiplayer aspect. Right now, I'm not really playing it much because there's no ranked mode. I'm waiting for the game to come out. But when I think of a content standpoint, I don't think many people are going to be making YouTube videos of Infinite like people make them of Warzone, you know, like from a multiplayer standpoint.
The only games you're going to see, or the only ones you're going to see are videos that are like, here's a sneaky spot to hide or how to super bounce if that ends up coming back, or like 50, huge kill games. But otherwise.
And I want to add some of that. And Jack, I'll let you keep going. The biggest fucking whiff that Halo is going to feel is Forge being 4 months late from Halo.
Because co-op campaign,
when you talk co-op campaign, fine. Like, I know people want to play it. They all want to do it together. It's Halo's legacy. It's always been there. Fine. But what Halo and Forge did in the past was what like YouTube became with a lot of like the first wave of creators with like Gary's Mod and all these like custom games on what was it with start with an F, Team Fortress.
Team Fortress. Yeah.
Forge and custom games, that is how Halo will succeed besides Battle Royale on YouTube, because like Rocket Race was the shit back in the day. And that was basically like fucking it was called Rocket Race, right? With the mongooses and the rocket launchers.
Yep. Yeah.
And you have Rocket League now. It's like a dumbed down version of that. There's so many possibilities with Forge and the custom games you'll see and the things that people create like they do with Fortnite Creative. I can't believe it's not launching for like half a year after the game releases.
I know. It's baffling to me.
The biggest opportunity Halo has. You just need eyes back on the game, and then Forge, you can create anything that you imagine. And that's where a lot of games are going. Roblox, Minecraft, fucking Fortnite. They're going to make a big comeback over the next 5 years, I bet, over the shit they're going to do with that game. So
it's pain and suffering, man. It's pain and suffering. We could talk about it. We could talk about it forever, but I know we've talked about it on so many different shows. I actually wanted to bring this up because I just got reminded of it from our brief here, and I never actually touched on it myself. It goes back to the whole Twitch YouTube thing, but earlier this week, it was announced that Twitch is allowing stream boosts. For 10 minutes during a stream, viewers will be able to participate in a boost by purchasing recommendations. 1,000 recommendations is 99 cents. 3,000 is 297. While it's just an experiment, it will only be available to streamers under 250 viewers. Many streamers see this feature as predatory, deeming it almost a pay-to-win feature. Now, I haven't gotten to read too much into it or hear this stuff, but I know that's just a kind of brief note. But I think of sites like Facebook where I'm pretty sure you can pay for boosts on things, and
if you can, I didn't know
boost. I'm pretty sure you can like boost a post on like a Facebook page. I'm gonna check my own Facebook page.
I mean, you can promote tweets and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, but typically
it's similar.
Yeah, but I guess right now with Twitch, just like when any major change like this happens, typically there's a lot of drama around it, and there's definitely been a lot of drama and talk around this one. I can definitely see where people worry about a pay-to-win type feature. If you have a whaler friend, I was joking with my buddies who are small streamers on Twitch themselves. My buddy Vega's probably 20 to 30 viewers. My buddy Flago's probably 5 to 10. And I'm like, man, imagine just going and spending $500 on your boy if you were wealthy to launch his career. It's like, I don't know.
It feels like they took view botting
Mhm.
and made it okay.
Yeah.
But not you know
I agree.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean,
good analogies. I agree with that one too.
it's like World of Warcraft had a lot of issues, if I'm not mistaken, with people paying real money for gold. So WoW was like, you know what? Let's just add game. You can buy a game time, a WoW token with $20 and sell it in game for gold to handle the gold transfer in the game. But go ahead.
Will it work though? So so the idea is you said it's sub 250 viewers, right?
It will only be available to streamers with under 250 viewers.
Okay. So the idea being your sub 250 viewers, somebody pays money, of which 100% of that goes to Twitch. The streamer doesn't get a cut. Where do you have we seen this in practice yet? I haven't seen it, but where does the person end up? Are they pushed to the top of the directory? If they're sub 250 and they get paid for and they go above 250, do they suddenly lose their promo time? Like let's say I kicked my stream on, right? Let's say magically I ended up on Twitch and I hit the go live button and I immediately go to the channel and I pay for the bump. Do I get put at the top of whatever directory or whatever it is, even if I shoot up to like 10K viewers? Is it possible to game the system?
You know what? I'll just say this. Twitch has a big fucking problem. And the reason why I bring that up is because TikTok has now changed the way that social platforms think about discoverability. And Twitch, what they should have done is, I know they probably have a lot of pressure to drive revenue and make money, especially after the acquisition. They should have done this in reverse order. There should have been a really big push internally and externally, forward facing, where they shine a light on new streamers or off some sort of function in the directory or some sort of, even with the app, I think would be probably the most in terms of like actually viability to create a UI that allows you to maybe discover people from clips or something along those lines. But they do not offer a dream anymore. That's the issue, is that there's so many people that are streaming. You talk about Fuego, you talk about Vega. People have 5 to 10 viewers. And, some people probably enjoy it as a hobby, even though do they want it to be a career? Who knows? The majority of people, I'm sure, that are streaming want streaming to be a full-time job for them. They want to make a career out of this. And that dream is dying. There's just too many people on the platform. There's no way to get discovered. The only way you can figure it out is if you're either really, really good at a video game, you're very, very unique, that gets people all riled up, or you have friends that are already streamers that you can build your audience off of there. So that's the issue. You have platforms now that offer discoverability just by the app and the way that it is today and the algorithm, but Twitch doesn't have an algorithm. They don't have anything that allows people to get eyes and retain those eyes.
I think maybe that's what they're trying to do with the paid promos, and I don't know if it's the right. Honestly, it's almost difficult for me to choose one side or the other on this, because I don't know what the right answer is without Twitch leaning into an algorithm style. I know I can see you losing it, Wanderer Fly. Go.
Well, the only thing I would say to that is, I understand you don't know what side to be on, but my point is, when you see a paid ad on TikTok, you scroll right through it. But if they are going to have to show that a stream is being boosted somewhere, and maybe it'll become a fun like meme type culture where everybody shows up to a fucking boosted stream and shows out, whatever. I don't know. But anytime you see something that's labeled sponsored, you just swipe out of it immediately on TikTok. So once you see that as a viewer on Twitch, I think it's going to be the same mentality. Like, oh, this isn't supposed to be here. I'm not going to click it. I'm not going to watch it. That's how I feel.
It might.
I could be completely wrong.
I mean, clip this. We'll save it for later. If it does end up being the case, then hats off to you, sir. Because honestly, I see a world where you're absolutely not wrong. There are tons of times where promote stuff. I mean, like I'll be honest. Every time I see some company's promoted tweet on my feed, I do just fucking scroll right past it. I don't know the last time. I don't know the last time I've like stopped at one of those kind of tweets and engaged with it, or like been interested. Oftentimes I hit the do not show me those kind of tweets button. And and that's fine. It's a per person decision. It would be nice to see. It would be great to see the dream of becoming a content creator, like you said, not dwindle because the pressure of how many people are out there. I don't know if you saw the stats. Twitch had just over 10 million channels go live I think in the last year, and of those, like less than 3% were partnered, and like maybe 10% were affiliate, and the rest, it was like 9.1 million accounts were just non-affiliate, non-partner accounts that went live. That's a lot of people trying to do something, and you don't know how many of them there, how much there's no discoverability for that. I don't even know what directories they're going live in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it like people mention, oh, I have this many viewers, I have this. Like, there's some crazy stat where it's like 6 or viewers or whatever is like you're in the top 1%.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
averaging 6 viewers is like one. I forget what exactly what it is, but it's something like that. And it's like when you put that in perspective, it really opens people's eyes.
The algorithm on Twitch is go live, and if you're at the top of the directory, get viewers, and that's it. And it's I don't know, without changing it up how the whole website works. I don't know how they beat that. In a way that
they should have done it in reverse order, brother. I'm telling you. Like TikTok and their algorithm, they serve you people don't know what they want until you give it to them.
Yeah.
And as soon as you tell people this is what you should be watching, and that's why I bring up the sponsored posts, or when somebody is on the front page of Twitch, like, you just never go back there again, because you know that there are strings being pulled in the background for me to go and watch this. But what TikTok does really well is they serve you all different types of content when you first get on the platform. And then with the amount of time that you spend on certain types of content, they keep you there. And it's, look, I know that I'm not working at Twitch, and I can't even imagine trying to solve that problem. I'll say that. I'm trying to solve a lot of problems in 100 Thieves. I can't begin to think how hard it would be to solve a problem where all that foundation and structure has already been built. But that's just the nature of the platform that they have now. And the directory, in a lot of ways, has become, and the app itself, to me, all of it's in the app. That's how everything gets changed, like, over time. But I don't know. I'm not a fucking expert, and I definitely don't have a great answer for them. So that's the last thing I'll say.
I will say it's difficult for me to. I don't like criticizing without having the ability to have actual response or feedback for stuff like that, because I feel like I feel like I'm being entitled, or like, I see people come into chat, they're like, well, why don't you just fucking do this instead, idiot? I'm like, obviously, you don't know what you're talking about, so shut your mouth. But and I feel like I'm being that guy about this. I don't know what the answer is. God, I wish I knew what the answer is, because then I could be like, dear John Q Twitch, here's how you fix it. Send, pay me.
Yeah.
And it would be, that'd be great. But I don't know what the answer is. I just hope that I just hope that they get a resolution for it, because there's a lot of good content creators on the platform that deserve recognition, that should have eyes on them, and don't. And there's no easy way to fix that.
There's no easy way. Everybody's trying to make a dream come true. And that's just the nature of what the internet has become. And I feel lucky we got here at the right time, but now it's almost next to impossible unless you do something wildly different from everybody else.
Just do what I did, dude.
What's that?
Just suck gently on Ninja's nuts until you're famous.
Hey, but then I got to suck on your guys' nuts.
Let's go.
It's like a train of. Actually, I kind of sucked on both your guys' nuts.
It feels good, dude.
Sucked on Predator's nuts for a little bit there too.
All jokes aside, networking, you mentioned it, and then we can talk about something else if you want. But networking is a massive part of any entertainment industry job, it feels like, because you get eyes on people that you work with just by association.
Networking is the number one thing in business in all of life. To put it simply. But we've talked so much about streaming and stuff like that. We've gone through what was a pretty long lull in gaming. The past X amount of months, we've had little blips of betas or, certain game tests here, boom, boom, boom. But now we're starting to ramp up a bit more. Yes, there's been game delays. But we're getting to a point now where it is getting to the holiday season. It's the final quarter of the year, which typically for gamers is like, holy fuck.
Well, it's crunch time.
So here we are, right? It's crunch time. It's grind season. It's time for a bunch of fun new games. I know for a creator like you, and I've now dove into it more. You've always been more of a variety type of creator where you just play that new big game that's out that you want to try out. We would be remiss, and I have a list on my screen right here of games coming up that I know I quickly want to pop into and mention, but we have to show some love or talk about at least what we've been grinding this past week. It's the most hours I've streamed in 1 week in my entire streaming career.
Yeah, it's wild.
Is New World. It's been funny for people that have been tuned into our streams because I originally joined to game with you on the server. No.
Thing, I'm just gonna listen. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I originally joined up with Ben on the server, but then as I was joining, Ben let me know of who else was on the server with them, which was like Gathalion, Glad, Mr. Fruit, and I began to realize that this could get pretty one-sided on the server fast. So I remember the moment where I talked to my boys in Discord and was like, we're going to change the entire experience we have on New World and become a different faction.
I'm so glad you did, dude. Oh,
I know, man. I know.
It has been some of the best fucking content of my chat coming in and be like, they're getting ready to attack, bro. You gotta look out. And it's like the back and forth. And the first war we had, I want you to know, I had 2 kills. Jack, you were fucking one of them. I want you to know that. When I got your ass, my chat went nuts. Like, that was Jack. Let's go. Oh, man.
Man, it's so cool playing because, and I'm sure you felt this experience too. And what I'll mention to Matt is like, man, the game has proximity chat, and then it's all like PvP based plus faction based. So like you have like your core group you play with, then that core group is part of a company, which is part of a faction, which
there are 3
factions in the world, all vying for territory in PvP. You level up. There's the different monsters you can fight, and a lot of the PvE stuff, which I know we'll critique and will be improved on, was added in the last year and a half because the game originally was only going to be PvP. Yep. PvE is more player versus environment and everything that's out there in the world, monsters, computer stuff, everything like that. So they're building that out more. But for the game itself right now, it has scratched the itch for so many people. Yesterday, a game with a $40 price value, which is what New World has, had just shy of 1 million concurrent players on Steam. It was the biggest game on Steam this weekend. And, I, for one, am hoping for long legs for New World. It's exciting because it's backed by Amazon Game Studios. It's obviously Amazon, the largest company in the world. So it's got the funding there. I think they really want this game to be successful.
Alibaba bigger than Amazon?
It's one of the biggest companies in the world. Damn it.
Yeah. I just wanted to say something.
But either way, I look at the game now, Ben, and I'll let you go ahead and talk about it. But I think people need to keep in mind that MMOs do take a while to really get to their their push point. Final Fantasy 11 is now at its peak after 11 years. World of Warcraft has been out for 17 years. And it's had its ups and downs. New World, to start, has scratched an itch. It has been so much fun. And after this podcast, I can't wait to play for another 8 hours after I film another video. But Ben,
I'm going to let you go. Alibaba is actually much smaller than Amazon. I apologize, Jack. Go ahead, Dr. Lupo. I Googled, guys. I fact checked.
Thank you, Matt. So the game, you're right, has scratched an itch that I think a lot of people were waiting for. It is not fully fleshed out. It's not even fully functional sometimes. There are UI bugs. The queues are, it's funny. The queues for a lot of servers are longer than there are max players on the server. Matt, they only allow 2,000 people on each server at a time. And Amazon themselves said, we did not expect this kind of turnout. It blew their minds. And I think that's a combination because maybe beta testing, the population there, plus they have a history of a couple tough releases. The timing on a couple games or things getting scrapped or just not being popular. It's been difficult. And I know a couple of guys in the studio, a couple of people in the studio, I should say, and they're ecstatic the amount of interest in the game. But the biggest shortcoming to me, I can let the bugs slide. I can let the little crashes slide. Every game suffers from problems. Even the some 3090s suffer from overheating and capacitor issues and get roasted, which blows. But that's not the game's fault. That's a design thing on the GPU side. But the fact that you can buy a $40 game and then a lot of this week, if you've been working during the day, you just don't get to play. You just get on the queues for 5 hours. People don't have time for that. And that's what sucks is it's been such a good experience. And I think probably part of the experience and how good it has been while you do get to play is because of the lower population count on a server. I know 2,000 seems like a lot, but like, Jack, do you know off the top of your head what WoW servers like? Isn't it like 10K?
Yeah, I
It's a
don't know.
lot.
I don't know exactly what it is. I think the thing with World of Warcraft servers is that they all intermix, and certain areas can
They have
populate with other
sharding and a
areas. They
bunch
have
of different
shards and all this
yeah.
stuff. Whereas like New World is pretty blunt with it.
Everybody's
It's like,
stacked on one. Yep.
yeah, it's like you outside of like your small group of surrounding, you have like a group of like 4 other servers you're paired with based off size. Outside of that, if you play on a different server, I can't play with you.
Yep.
But flat out. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of improvements that you can seek for the game. What I'm most now excited for is where they go from here, is what their plan is, how much, what updates will there be? If you look at the map in the game, when you like scroll out, it looks like there's like more zones.
Dude. You
ready
can scroll
to be-
so far out that like
Yeah.
only a quarter of your screen has map on it, and you just
Yep.
have this giant vast openness. It looks like they've set themselves up for a lot, which
And it-
is great.
My only-
you want that.
Yeah, and I guess my worry that I have and people have is like, okay, well, now that there's not a monthly fee that goes to the game, how much will they support it? One, right now, which this is also a critique for me, the only real armor that is kind of visually appealing, Ben, up to this point, is a couple of the cash shop armors.
Oh,
and
I have to disagree. I saw you running around yesterday. That armor I was wearing when I was following you around.
Yeah.
That's from doing corruption zones. That's not pay to win armor. I look like I'm out of fucking Skyrim.
okay, that shit's dope.
I think a lot of the aesthetic stuff is saved for late game, which I honestly is probably good because it's incentive to grind your way to the top. That being
Yeah.
said, I do agree that there's a lot of. I'm curious how they're going to support it in the long term if there is no sub fee. I mean, maybe they're just banking on Amazon, Amazon being Amazon and be like, we already have a whole ton of money. You just
Or a
keep on
store,
building out
or
content."
they just have a rotating store like a Fortnite store.
Something.
Like they already have 7 different skins and yada yada for weapons and emotes in the game. So
Yep.
if they go with a cash shop type thing, it couldn't be a lot, yes, but if it means better support for the game long term, okay. Now we talked about New World. You played it so much; it's been a blast. Other games coming soon. Back for Blood. I've enjoyed the times I've played that. Ben, do you think you'll hop on that game and give it a run through?
My brothers and I have a long history of playing Left 4 Dead, and it's
There
the
you go.
same developers. Granted,
Yeah.
it's not Left 4 Dead, but I mean, you might as well call it that, right? It's the spiritual success. I did an ad, and the line is coming back to me about it being the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, and they even included that in there. That you're like, yeah, talk about Left 4 Dead. That's fine. We literally
it,
made
yeah.
that game. Just go for it. And I think it does. You're not going to get any surprises from a game like that, but you're going to get exactly what you anticipate, and that's a zombie arcade shooter with your buds. So
Yep.
people that want that, fuck yeah, buy it.
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's exciting that it's finally here. There's been 87 betas for it.
I know.
up to this point, we have another one that's coming soon, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, which I believe is also made by, I think it's made by Square Enix.
Yeah, that's one that I'm trying to figure out what the call is on that. I'll probably try it. I think a lot of people maybe have a sour taste in their mouth from Avengers and how
The last one.
it was great until you got to the end game grind, and then it was just so tough to stick with it. And there apparently were a lot of issues with balance as well as how the game played in general late game. If they do something a little different, if it's more of like a story driven RPG adventure style game, I think it's got legs for sure, at least for like a playthrough like you would with like a Ratchet and Clank game.
Yeah.
If they're trying to do it as a live service again, which I don't think that they are from what I know. If they try to do it as a live service though, I don't think it has what it takes. It's difficult to compare games go in the same genre as like Destiny. Destiny has that genre by the balls.
True. Destiny is it's up there for sure. Another big one that's happening, at least from a beta standpoint, not the game releasing yet, is in 48 hours we'll be playing is Battlefield 2042.
Yes,
Which
sir.
I think Matt
48 hours.
the open beta. That's one you got to hop on and play and try, bro.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna. I mean, I've always played Battlefields when they've come out. I don't have anything against Battlefield, but you like it that much?
I'm just saying that it's just one of those big games. It's a shooter. We got to give it. We got to run it this weekend, bro. I mean, come on.
Battlefield has
I'm
a
down.
flavor difference.
I'm actually super fucking down. Go ahead, Ben.
I was to say Battlefield's got a flavor difference for FPS games that not a lot, I think, keep up with right now, except for maybe Warzone now. But like OG Battlefield, like you know, I say OG, I mean like the last couple releases, it's grand scale combat with crazy bullshit happening. You got towers falling over and fucking tornadoes and nukes going off and like and vehicle combat and infantry it has like it's like everything rolled into one alongside this intense in-game event that happens like every map. That part of Battlefield for me has always been one of the coolest things. That's why I continue to play Battlefield games that come out, and I'm gonna play 2042 for sure because of those kind of events.
Yep.
I'm excited. I actually forgot about the Battlefield release for some reason. You know,
Battlefield.
It's been this weird world during COVID where I'm not sure if you guys feel this way, but a brand new Jake Gyllenhaal movie came out. It's about a 9/11 operator. And there's been so many like big actors and actresses, and I know this is different from games, that have released films during the COVID era on Netflix or Apple TV, Hulu, HBO Max. There's so many services now, Disney.
Yep.
And I didn't even know these movies were coming out. I don't know if it's like a marketing issue. I don't know if it's like a real world issue where we're not having the same word of mouth with like coworkers as we used to, or school classmates, or if it's, you know, there's so much happening in every different direction on the realm of the internet, whether it's social platform you're on, where you spend your time. But there's so many things happening that used to be such big moments for like me or anybody on the internet. I didn't even know some of these movies released. I didn't even know Battlefield was coming out. I didn't even know Open World was coming out. And then all of a sudden it's like the biggest game in the world. So I don't know what the fuck's going on, dude. I don't know if there's something wrong with simulation, or I'm just not paying enough attention. But there's just so much content to be consumed now. It's so hard to find time for like the big moments that used to be really, really big back when we were younger.
Yeah. A lot of things.
Yeah,
A lot of things
exactly.
too have been delayed, and dates have been moved around. You know, Halo, I feel like has been releasing for 8 billion years. Battlefield was delayed a month. New World was delayed a month and a half. The new God of War, I believe, has been pushed back, or you know, is still on the horizon, but it's taking a bit longer. You know, so many games
Came out.
What'd you say?
Didn't God of War just come out like a year or two ago?
No, God of War was what, 2018 or 19?
I think 18, right?
Yeah. So Ragnarok is
games off that often. I thought it was more like every 5, 6, 7 years.
Ragnarok, when it comes out, will be like, it's gonna be so good, man. That's
I mean,
game,
the pressure to continue releasing stuff at that kind of cadence, because I think it's partially because the entire Call of Duty franchise has a system set up to push out a new game every year, because they have multiple studios building multiple different games, that a lot of people are trying to compete with that too. And you're right that there are so many releases now, movie wise, just media in general, that there's a lot of stuff that I have not, that has come out that, yeah, it just flies right by, right? It's strange almost how fast things are being pushed out.
Yeah, things just come and go. It's absolutely wild. I know. I don't know if I've ever asked or I've talked to you about this, Ben, but have you played the most recent God of War?
I have
Did you
not.
play, Ben? Oh,
I didn't.
man.
I've heard it's phenomenal too, and
Dude.
that I think to a T is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. It's like this kind of stuff comes out, and there's so many games, and there are so many different commitments and stuff that people have to long grindy. I mean, New World is a good example of like I haven't played anything else
Yeah.
except for New World since it came out, because the amount of time that they're asking you to put in. And for a casual person, imagine for a second, Jack, that playing video games was not our job. There is no fucking way that I would be able to keep up with everything that's out.
And
Yeah.
that's
There's
why
no way.
I'm not playing that shit.
Yeah. No, 100%. There's so much happening. I think if I have to stress one thing to both of you as friends and as lovers,
Play God of War.
Yeah.
I bet I will give you my PS5 right here, right now. Look, get some Trulies. It is a game that probably will take you. It could take you 2 streams, Ben. But when there's this lull again, it does have a great viewership. It's got a great audience that plays it. The next one's coming, which is already so hyped. It is a truly brilliant experience. And to piggyback off that, when you love that game and you're like, man, I need another game that's just like that's phenomenal as well. most recent Spider-Man games on PS5 as well, man. Spider-Man and then Spider-Man Miles Morales. I mean, dude, talk about like I'm not a big single player game person. I'm just not. But they're the perfect amount of length. The stories are epic. The fighting is so fun that I promise you that you will just fall in love. Like the most recent God of War is it won game of the, didn't it win game of the, I mean it was perfection. It was so fucking good. It was so
Alibaba won Game of the Year.
Alibaba did win Game of the Year. Did God of War win Game of the Year? I gotta see.
You kind of, dude. My skin's kind of crawling. I feel like you don't put a flag in the ground on a lot very often.
I don't. I never do. I never do. I'm telling you,
play these games.
No. I'm telling you, I don't play these.
About Spider-Man before, not God of War, but dude, I think God of War. You probably mentioned
Titans. Like it's got Titans in it. It's got Greek and Norse mythology.
Sick. Ooh, I love that.
Epic. The music, bro. Like, dude. Oh my god. I just got the chills. Oh god. I got stop. I can't. If you just go, I don't even want to look at you guys anymore because I can't
fucking lose it.
When people watch this and see the comments, like they know how much Ben would love that story. Ben, the story of God of War, it is the story about a father and son, the most recent one. You will love every second of that. And Matt, you love epic anime type things. There's a fucking worm in God of War that wraps around the entire earth. That's a Titan that you is part of the story, dude. It is fucking mind blowing. You guys need to play it as soon as possible. No, it's not spoilers. It happens in the first 20 minutes.
That's good.
I would never spoil a game like that, dude. It is chef's kiss. The music. Oh, I can't. We got to move on. God damn it. Play the fucking game. I will be so mad for your viewers of you guys that you've never played the goddamn game.
Okay. Then how about this? I'll make a promise to my viewership. If you got to watch this in order for me to actually do it. That way I can force you to watch the CouRage and Nadeshot Show. All right. If you watch this, come back and just type 1, 2, 3, play the game, and I'll do it. All right. That's how you know that they watched it, Jack.
Right.
Is if they type 1, 2, 3, play the game in my chat, then I'll fucking play it. Okay. That is my seal of approval, dude. The stamp right there. 1, 2, 3, play the game, and I'll do it.
Oh man,
I'm here for this, dude. I like this.
I'm Matt. I'll give you the damn PS5. Play it, and I promise you'll put everything else on pause.
I would love to, and I actually really want to, but I would need a little bit more. I, for the life of me, don't remember how to set up a console on a.
I'll do it all. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. You can stream off. You can stream off my setup. You can stream off my setup. I don't care. It is. Every person should have to experience that game.
I'll do it. I'll find some time, man. I'm ready. I'm all in.
It is so good. I mean, Ben, thank you again for coming on the show. These episodes fly by. It's such a blast to hear your thoughts. Yeah, it's always great conversation. We see things. I think we both have a great pulse on this industry, and all of us do, obviously. But all the times you and I talk, it's something that I look so forward to. And
I appreciate you guys having me on the show. Yeah, I miss you to death. I wish we could do this in person, dude. Next time I'm in LA, I'm literally coming to the 100 Thieves house. I'm forcing you to record an episode.
My chopped liver?
I said you guys. That's you too, Matt. Shit.
Give me some attention, dude. I'm feeling
Matt. Your beard is so perfectly trimmed. It makes me jealous.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You know who was here last week? Ben. We didn't get a film podcast. It's really short, but Cypher was streaming out of the compound.
I got
to reunite with Cypher. He's lost 80 pounds or some shit. It's crazy.
That motherfucker's shredded now.
And he can dunk. He was dunking on our hoop in the back. I was like, why did you invite me here? He just wrote, like, the whole vlog was just me getting shown up every second, and then I just left.
Based on how tall you and Matt are, that's the first time that hoop's been dunked on. That's crazy.
Thank you, Ben, so much for coming on the show. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lupo, for being here. I'd say go check out all of Ben's stuff down below, but maybe not. Who knows? Yeah, do it. He's great to watch. Ben, congratulations on everything. I love you, pal. And
thank you, guys.
Can't wait to shit on you in more New World Wars.
With that being said, we're going to take all your territories.
I'll fuck you up!
Great, just could suck my ass officially.
Right. We'll see you guys in the next one. Drop a like in the video.